Well, Jay, when we started this project, I knew that the day would have to come where I would just feel miserable on a day that I had to make a video, and that day is today. But here we are at the start of week 10. Here it goes. Jay, you're absolutely right. Waiting rooms are terrible, and I'm actually a little fearful that I'm needing to go to one right now. My worst waiting room experience was in an emergency room, and it was certainly not treated as an emergency, although I certainly felt like it needed to be. I did a flip on a trampoline and came down, and my knee hit me right in the chin, and I bit straight through my tongue, so it was split like a serpent. After about 2 hours of waiting, I got 2 stitches in my tongue, and it was one of the more horrifying experiences of my life. But anyway, Jay, other stuff to talk about today. I'm going to kick off with the death of an American hero, Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, of course, was the first man to walk on the moon amongst many other major accomplishments. This is a man whose life should be celebrated for his achievements, and I think Hank Green did a phenomenal job in the video he posted on Sunday, kind of just covering the amazing things that this guy did in his life. So I'm going to just put a link in the description below, and I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already seen it. And now moving on to the other Armstrong news that I want to talk about today, one of my all-time heroes, Lance Armstrong. Now, you may have seen in the news recently that the US ADA is stripping Lance Armstrong of his 7 Tour de France titles as well as a bronze Olympic medal. Now, I watched Lance win those titles in real time. Every summer, every July, me, you, and Dad would sit in the living room from when we were kids until we were in high school and watch as Lance changed a not mainstream sport into something to talk about. Conversations between us during this month would consist of nothing more than the Peloton, that day's breakaway, Alpe d'Huez, King of the Mountains, characters like Juan Antonio Fletcher, Jan Ullrich, Ivan Basso, and our hero, Lance Armstrong. So when I heard that Lance was to be stripped of his titles, I felt a compulsion to come to his defense. First, it wasn't proven that Lance was doping. This is a battle he's been fighting since he became a cycling phenomenon. Basically, he has finally just said enough and is no longer going to fight the allegations. Second, what he's accused of doing is something called blood doping. And I feel like a lot of people hear doping and they think that he's using some type of chemical performance-enhancing drug. And that's not the case. Blood doping is harvesting blood from your body when you have a high red blood cell count and then infusing it into your bloodstream when it's low. To me, one of the big things here is that since 1999, 9 Tour de France winners have had their titles revoked. What that says to me is that just about anybody who's actually competitive in the Tour de France, as far as the top spots go, is probably using some form of blood doping. And my guess is that anybody that Lance beat was on a level playing field. So Jay, I'm sorry to have ranted so much today, but basically the point I want to make here is that Lance Armstrong is and forever will be one of my biggest idols. This is a person who's actively trying to make the world a better place with his Livestrong Foundation, which, if you've ever worn a rubber bracelet for some type of cause, that whole trend sparked with Livestrong. He gave the sport of cycling a whole new image and serves as a role model for athletes of any kind. So Jay, today I think we should shed light on people's greatest achievements. So today for my question of the day, what is one of your greatest achievements or accomplishments that you are most proud of? So Jay, I know it was kind of a serious video today. Sorry, it was just a topic that I really wanted to bring attention to, and I just don't think that you can really add humor to this particular thing. That's all I've got for you today, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
You just watched SuperCarlinBrothers!